Okay, everybody, 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins here, 7:59 Tuesday night. See how fast I can make this weather update, tropical weather update. Haven't done one in a while because things have been fairly quiet, but let's talk about this. Obviously, you can see we've got a 70% chance of development for this system as it moves off towards the west-northwest. Here's a look at it now. You can see it way out here. Basically, not a whole lot to it just yet, okay, but it is. You can see there's a pretty good amount of moisture here. There is some dust on the north side of this thing, and that's going to kind of inhibit it for at least a little bit, but this is probably going to get together. Most of the models suggesting that, yeah, it looks like it's going to get back together here at some point. So something that we need to keep an eye on there, okay? Now, let's take a look at the Hurricane Center. As I mentioned, it's a 70% chance for a shower, for a development. Used to saying that a lot. Let's start with some of the models, okay? So this is the European forecast model. Let me roll this down just a little bit. And here we go, okay? So you see it sitting right in here. And what it's going to do is something like this, okay? So watch that track, and I'll tell you the time. This goes out to this Friday evening. And here it is, way out here, okay? Way out in the central Atlantic, all right? Let's go all the way out. Look, see it's developing. That's at least a tropical storm there. Now it's by the islands a week from tomorrow. This is September 10th. Actually, the statistical peak. There's Puerto Rico, there are the island chains here, and there's the system, okay? So a week from now, basically, they want to keep an eye on it. But here it goes. It looks like it wants to recurve. And thank goodness, see this low sitting here? This is trailing a cold front here, okay? And that is what we want, because it's this cold front that takes these things and takes them up and out, okay? That's what we want to happen. And so it looks like now that's the case as far as the European model is concerned. Although, watch this. You see that the low is way up here, okay? Here's the trailing front, and it doesn't really get picked up by it, okay? So what it does is it comes up ahead of it, and then once it misses it, it's going to kind of go something like this. All right, watch that. Watch where it is now. Did it miss it? Nah, that run didn't do it. Okay, let's take a look at the GFS model for what it's worth. Okay, same thing. That one really gets it going. This is Friday evening, already a storm out there, and it's moving off towards the west-northwest. This one, by the time we get towards Wednesday, a week from tomorrow, it's in a very similar location. Here are the island chains. It's a little bit further offshore, but it's a week and a couple days away from now. The devil's in the details as far as that's concerned. And then you can see it too makes the curve. But as I was mentioning, this one says here's the frontal boundary. Okay, low is gone now, but it's enough to pull it up. But then look at this high. You see this high right here, shaped like this. Okay, it's moving over top of it, so it's going to do something like this. Watch what it does. This, by the way, is September the 14th. See, it goes back to the west, and then right off of Martha's Vineyard and then back up there. Now, this is the GFS model. Don't put a lot of weight in that. But you get the idea. It looks like it's going to be some kind of recurve there. This is the European forecast model, and these are all of the ensembles. Again, you see somewhere in here, okay, mainly for the turn. Here is the GFS, and the GFS is actually further to the north, okay. Good, that's good news. The further north it goes out in this latitude out here, the better, okay. This is the Chrome. This is Google's AI model right here. It's actually doing very well. And you can see it's got it weak, and then some develop and take it up and curve it out, okay? But some that do actually develop and lower some pressures, 984, 973. So we'll see. Ooh, whoa. All right. This is kind of another version of that. This is the probabilistic version, but I wanted to show you this one because, yeah, here's our first one, okay? Coming out, looks like maybe recurving, all right? This is another wave that comes off of Africa, and it tries to do something like this. And I show you that because I think we're actually, especially by the middle of the month, we're going to be in a period where we start to see a little bit more activity. Here's another way to look at all of this. This is let me slide this over a little bit. This is that version, the Chrome, basically the Google AI model. So the yellow is the European ensembles, or excuse me, the orange. The yellow is actually the European forecast. So right here you see that one thing of yellow, right? That is the European model saying that it's a tropical storm. These little things you see of orange, that's the ensembles of the European model, okay? Now, the blue and the green that you see here, those are different versions of this model, of this AI model. Okay, so watch what happens. The AI model is a little bit further to the south. It's closer to the islands down here, maybe even a little bit slower. The Europeans up here, the ensembles, here's the actual European itself, okay? Now that's through what time? We're talking a week from Wednesday, tomorrow, okay? September 10th. Now look what happens. Almost all of it recurves it. Okay, you see all this? It's all recurving it. And then you've got the second wave sitting back here, kind of going off in that direction as well. So bottom line is, most of the modeling that we could see is suggesting that this thing recurves. There's another way to look at the ensembles. Instead of those little dots, they kind of look at little low pressures there. Now, there's not going to be this many, not one here, not one here, one, right? This is just, every one of those is a different run of the model. But when you put it together, you get the idea that the European model is saying, yeah, it's probably going to be somewhere in here by September 13th, okay, and going like this. Great. Want to see that. This is the GFS model. Okay, see that? Same thing, way out there. This is a la Aaron, right? Maybe not as far west as Aaron. Look at the GFS. I did want to show you this. See this? I think we're going to have to be watching for something going in here like this. Maybe even developing in the Gulf. Look at the European forecast model. I never really played it for the last time. See what's happening here? Okay, this is September 10th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. Okay, way out in time, and the models are going to show a whole bunch of stuff. But you get the idea. We're actually starting to see things come up here a little bit. Okay, this is the last slide I'll show you. This is the European forecast model, basically saying for the ensembles, where does it expect development? Here's what we're watching right now, 70% chance, right? We should get an invest on that shortly and have some models come in. This is the second one, okay? And it looks like, it almost looks like it wants to go a little more west. This is the little low that's developing and going this way. This is here and coming this way. And because we have a front sitting here, an old boundary, we might get something here and come out in that direction. All right, so that's where we're at with it right now. Of course, I'll keep you updated. I'm not worried about this right now, but it is something that I think, as I mentioned, that as we go through and get into the middle of September, and then certainly the end of September, we're going to have what's called the MJO, Madden-Julian oscillation. It's in a phase where we have a lot of lift over the Atlantic basin, okay? And when you get that, you start popping storms. You can, pop one here, pop one here, pop one, whatever. That can happen if the atmosphere is right. I definitely think it's just going to be a little bit more than what we've been seeing lately, because it's been nice. It's been fairly quiet, especially with these storms that are recurving out to sea. Okay, guys, that's it. Hope you have a great one.